Attention wrestling fans, you're now about to listen to the man coming down the aisle from the main streets of South Elgin, Illinois, with a microphone in his hand and questions on his mind. This is Whaddya Say with DDJ.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 39 of Whaddya Say with DDJ. As always, I'm your host, DDJ. And on this episode, making his return to Whaddya Say with DDJ, it will be the Shooterweight Yoya. He was on an earlier episode, and I got a chance to introduce him to my audience here. And on this episode, he's going to talk about his Wrestlemania week, as he was very busy. He wrestled Lio Rush as part of the Josh Barnett's Bloodsport down there. And he was also in a six-way scramble for the GCW, the Collective. So we're going to talk about his experiences down in Tampa, along with his girlfriend, who was also down there as well. So time to get comfy, sit back, relax, grab a drink, grab something to eat, and enjoy episode 39 of Whaddya Say with DDJ, and my guest this week, the Shooterweight Yoya.
What's up, guys? This is Mr. 3% John Hudson here, the gold standard of professional wrestling, the doctor of Gainsonomics, the nephew to Hercules, the grandson to Zeus, the son of the mother of Gains, and the creator of Gains Babies, and you are listening to Whaddya Say with DDJ.
All right, we are back for another episode of Whaddya Say with DDJ, and making his return to the Whaddya Say with DDJ show is my very good friend and someone who was very busy during WrestleMania week in Tampa, and that is the Shooterweight Yoya. Yoya, thank you so much for joining me tonight. How are you doing?
Good, thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm doing okay, man. Just hanging in there as best I can with everything going on and stuff. So since we last talked, you've become quite a busy man and getting your name out there. What did your WrestleMania week consist of?
Yeah, so did two events. First event, I guess a lot of people know by now, is Lio Rush Bloodsport, and the second event I did was a scramble match at Unsanctioned Pro at the Collective as well, at GCW, which is on the last day of the Collective. Okay.
Now, Lio Rush is someone who a lot of people may know. I believe he's currently, in fact, I know this because I just watched at MLW. He is the MLW middleweight champion, and I believe he's the AAA cruiserweight champion or something like that.
I think so. I don't remember if they gave him the belt or not.
Oh, okay. But then he's also he was also in the WWE. At one point, he was the mouthpiece of the now WWE champion Bobby Lashley, and he was actually also a former NXT Cruiserweight champion. So Lio Rush is a pretty well-known name out there. Yeah. So tell me, how did this match with Lio Rush come about?
Honestly, it was super simple. I just got hit up by Brett one day asking if I wanted to do Bloodsport, and of course, in my mind, that was one of my goals, was to get on Bloodsport. I have a style of I guess shoot wrestling, so I always wanted to showcase what I did on the big stage. So naturally, I just said, yeah, of course, I'll go ahead and definitely do it. And I didn't know who I was going to wrestle yet. I just knew I was on the event. Mm-hmm. And I believe 2 or 3 weeks after, my girlfriend's flyer got released first, and then a couple of days after, mine got released, and then that's when I found out I was wrestling Lio. And it's surreal to me because last year or 2 years ago, I told my girlfriend that I've always wanted to wrestle Lio Rush. Oh,
wow.
And when I first started, I was studying him nonstop. Like, you can ask anybody I trained with. I hate to say it, but I wanted to be Lio Rush. I took his move sets and all this stuff, and it's it's just crazy to me because it's just two goals at the same time in one night. Wrestling Leo Rush up Bloodsport. So
So now I know who she is, but to my audience who may not know who your girlfriend is, she also wrestles as well, correct?
yeah, she goes by Janai Kai, and we do have a tag team as well. We go by Yoya, and Janai Kai Yokai.
Now, is that a play off the, I believe it's like the Japanese anime yokai or whatever?
Yeah, so there's an anime, and there's also it also means demon in Japanese, so kind of both of those things. And that's kind of how I got the name as well. I saw the anime video game at Five Below, and then I tell her, that's our name. That's just fate, we're gonna be a tag team, and that's our name.
Right. So who did she go up against that down in Tampa?
She did Bloodsport, and she also did another show in it was down the street. It was called Generation Wrestling, Generation Championship Wrestling. At Bloodsport, she wrestled KZT, and she's awesome. She hasn't had much professional wrestling experience, but she's a legit black belt in jiu-jitsu. She's amazing at what she does, and they put on a fantastic bout, I thought. And at Generation, she wrestled someone named Killer Kate, which was another great match as well. She's definitely someone to watch. Really good grappler.
Now, how long has Janai been a professional wrestler?
I think she's in her third year now.
Okay,
relatively new as well. I don't know if we count last year though, but we do third year.
Right. And how long have you been wrestling?
Just got into my second year.
Oh, so you're still new. So she's been doing it a little bit longer than you.
Yeah.
And is that how you two met, was through wrestling, or did you know each other before you guys got into wrestling?
Oh, we've known each other we started dating 8 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So we've been together for a long time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We met actually online, which is pretty funny.
Oh yeah, it's how I actually met my wife, was online too. So it's kind of amazing how all these people talk about the dark side of internet dating sites and all that stuff. But some people can find true love in there. You and I are good examples of that.
Yeah, it works out sometimes. We're lucky that it did.
Right. So I've not really had much of an exposure to Bloodsport. I know that's I believe that's Josh Barnett's promotion.
Mm-hmm.
How does Bloodsport differ from, say, WWE or Chicagoland Championship Wrestling? What really makes it unique compared to everything else out there?
I think it's I don't know, it's a couple of things. I guess everybody will have a different explanation of what makes it different, but I guess we can all come to a common conclusion. The one thing, if we just look at it at face value, it's the kind of wrestling that's presented. There's no ropes in the ring, and it's down to the core what professional wrestling used to be, when it first started, was shoot fighting and actual fights. So that's what it's presented as. It's not so much, all these crazy high spots that you see nowadays in wrestling, which I think is cool still, but I think it's also cool that we can show the other side of wrestling as well, where it's legitimate fighting and legitimate grappling, and just another platform for people to see what wrestlers can do that you may not see them do, or bring other wrestlers that you haven't seen before because they just haven't been out there. But there's a new wave of shoot wrestlers out there nowadays, so it's a good platform for them to show what they do as well. That's what I think that makes it so different from anything else.
Yeah, because I've seen, I've heard about it and the setup, and it seems really unique and stuff. Now, for you, obviously, when you're preparing for a match where there's no ropes, obviously you got to have a completely different approach versus a traditional professional wrestling match. Do you think your style is in both types of matches, with ropes and without ropes? Do you consider your styles to be, for those two matches, to be similar, or are they different when you wrestle in each one?
Yeah, I think it's for me personally, it was, I don't want to say it was easy, but it was definitely not a hard switch for me, because I don't really use the ropes now anyways as much as I used to. So how I wrestle at Bloodsport is typically how I wrestle any kind of match anyways, I'm there to kick anyone in the head and take them down and go from there, you know. So, and even prior to Bloodsport, most of my matches recently have been shoot style events, anyways. So.
Mm-hmm. And for someone who maybe, whose style is different than yours and stuff, and they get into a match like this, what would you like if you could give someone, say, let's just say, I'm going to throw a random name out there who's probably never been in a no ropes match. I'm just going to say someone, let's just say AJ Styles. He's like, you know what? I want to go to, I want to do this blood sport one time. And obviously, he's known for using the ropes for his phenomenal forearm and the springboard 450 and everything. If he came to you and said, what is the biggest difference, obviously, like in terms of how I should, my style or anything, like what is like the biggest difference that someone should expect in terms of when they're preparing for this type of match?
That's a good question. I think the biggest thing, I don't know, it's so easy to say just in your matches now, don't use the ropes, but I think what I would say is study, shoot style wrestling, even if it's like, rings or whatever, and see what you can do to incorporate what you do now into that setting. And if you use the ropes, maybe don't throw out what you do, maybe try to figure out something else. There's another way to get into whatever you do without using the ropes. I think wrestling is a lot about adaptation and putting what you do into everything that you, does that make sense? Putting what you do into all kinds of situations, because no situation can be perfect, right? So if you can adapt and become a better wrestler that way, I think that's pretty much my advice, is don't throw out what you do, but try to adapt what you do to that.
All right. So what is because again, those that know Bloodsport know that that's Josh Barnett's promotion. What was it like working for him, knowing like where what he's done in the professional wrestling world? I know he's trained some people that we know about. I believe he was one of Shayna Baszler's trainers, and I know he's done some other stuff as well too, as well as he used to do commentary for New Japan on when I believe they were on Access TVs. But what is Josh Barnett like to work for?
Not super scary. No, I'm just kidding. It was definitely it was a different vibe. I think there was it was fun. Don't get me wrong, but there was definitely a sense of seriousness in the backstage that he instilled. He made it have like a very big fight feeling throughout the night. But I think working with him was great. If we had any questions or if you wanted to do something, he was great in terms of explaining, maybe we should do this instead of that for this setting of a match, and here's the reason why I'm asking you, not telling you, but I'm going to ask you to do it this way because of this reason. Let's try to figure out something we can both agree on, So super knowledgeable, and, he's definitely a guy that gets everybody amped up before we go out there.
Right. Okay. So that's good to hear. Refresh my memory, what was the main event for the Bloodsport event?
Jon Moxley versus Josh Barnett. Same.
And obviously, Jon Moxley is arguably one of the most popular wrestlers in the world right now. Did you get to have any kind of interaction with him at all?
I didn't get a chance to say much to him. I just shook his hand. I got so scared and I walked away. Yeah, that's all I could bring myself to do was just shake his hand and say hello. But, I think it was pretty cool to see him though, because what you see him on TV or wherever, it's just him all the time. He's not someone different backstage. He's just him all the time, which is awesome.
Yeah, and that's what I hear. He seems like, a real laid back kind of go with the flow kind of guy, who looks like he's really having fun in the world of professional wrestling again.
Yeah.
So one other question I have about the ring is obviously there are the no ropes, but they still have the post up, correct?
Yeah.
And there's obviously no turnbuckles or anything, but like, are the posts there like with no ropes and anything, is it just because that's the way the rings are set, they're constructed, or is there any other reason why the posts are there?
That's a good question, actually. You know, I helped set up the ring and stuff, but
Mhm.
I don't want to give you an answer because I'd probably be lying to you, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, actually, that's a good question. I don't know why the ropes, why the posts were there. There was no ropes. You should probably know that.
It's just one of those things that popped in my head because I'm thinking, okay, if there's no ropes and stuff, why do they need the post? Because I'm assuming, again, I've never set up a ring. I've watched, at
Oh
independent
well,
shows and stuff. Is it more of a like just a because it's the support thing, or is it because aren't the ring posts detachable?
yeah, yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's beams that go across to hold the wood in place, and
Okay.
then the outer edges, like the last beams on each side,
Hmm.
sits on those posts themselves because they have like notches for them. That's right.
Okay, so it is kind of more of like just
Support,
a
yes.
support thing. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah.
That makes sense.
Here we
So
go.
now,
Yeah.
so now, other than the fact that there are no ropes and stuff, do the blood sport matches have any rules that are unique to that organization?
Yeah, so what was it? No pinfall. You can only
Oh,
win by knockout, technical knockout, or submission.
okay.
Obviously, no rope breaks. And just the same as professional wrestling. No eye rakes, no low blows, stuff like that.
Mhm.
No small joint manipulations, if I can remember correctly. I don't remember that. That's the exact rule. And once we go on the outside, typically when the ref will pull you back, let them come in right away.
Okay, so the matches usually are pretty much confined to the actual ring.
Sometimes you get some one-offs where guys go out, like how John Moxley did a dive on Josh.
Hmm.
That'll be a one-off.
Gotcha. Okay, okay. So when you got word that you were going to be wrestling Leo Rush, who is someone you pretty much sounds like you idolized and looked up to and were a huge fan of, what went through your mind?
Um, well, when I first found out, I was playing video games with like five of my friends, and uh, my phone was turned upside down. I just hear my phone ringing, like for like 20 minutes straight, it's just vibrating. I was like, I guess something important must be going on. I don't know. Maybe somebody got hurt that I know, something
Right.
crazy. So I flipped over my phone. I just see a bunch of Twitter notifications. Just, well, something important must be going on. I don't know. I look at the flyer and it shows me and Leo, and the first thing I did, I just start screaming on the mic. I was playing with my friends, and my friends were like, "Geez, what's going on? Why? Would something bad happen?" I was like, "No, I'm wrestling Leo Rush. It's just so surreal." And then I call my girlfriend, and I start screaming on the phone on with her, and she's just trying to calm me down and say, what's going on? Why are you going nuts? And then I told her to go look at Twitter, and then, we were just
Mhm.
both ecstatic after that. It was just a bunch of yelling. I couldn't, put words out of what I was feeling.
Hi, that's awesome and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you get to have an interaction with someone you looked up to, whether it be in a match like you with Leo, or at a meet and greet,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
when you meet someone, like when I met the Road Warriors, and stuff. It's just such a surreal moment to have that kind of interaction.
Yeah.
So so we get to if we're getting up to the show here, and with like everything going on with COVID and everything with the were there any what kind of travel restrictions were in place at the time, like when you're getting ready to fly down to Tampa? Because I know we've gotten to the point now where things are kind of starting to open up a little bit more, as more people get vaccinated
Mhm.
and such. Were the travel restrictions kind of a little bit easier per se for you, versus, let's say, going back to the CCW show in October, when we were kind of still really knee deep in everything?
Yeah. Well, I drove down there.
Okay.
Typically, I drive to every show just because I like the road. I like seeing things that I typically wouldn't see on a plane. But,
Hmm.
Florida being Florida was a little relaxed, you know. But
Right.
GCW or Game Changer did a great job on you know, having social distancing, you know, making sure people wear masks, all that stuff. I think they did a great job on that. They were checking temperatures of fans that came in. So there was a lot of, you know, checkpoints to make sure that people are
Mhm.
safe and staying safe. So, but
And
travel itself in Florida was pretty chill.
oh yeah. Now how long of a drive? Because if I remember correctly, you're from DC, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Now how long of a drive was it to get from DC down to Tampa?
Going down there was 12 hours, 13 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, around 13. Coming back was a nightmare. I think it was like 18 hours. Yeah.
And what would you attribute that to? Is it just more traffic, everybody trying to get out of Tampa, or?
So it was raining really bad. I think for like 3 hours it was just nonstop thunderstorms,
Okay.
and you just couldn't see past you like a foot away, you know. So we
Mhm.
were all going super slow, and then every 20 minutes you look on the side of the road, there'd be an accident. Somebody would spin out or somebody would crash, you know.
Right.
So it's just nonstop accidents. Just not being able to leave Florida for like a good 6 hours. It was crazy.
Yeah, I know. Kind of you're talking about that. Kind of reminds me of when my wife and I think when we left when we were down in Florida for our honeymoon back in 2014, and we were down like went down about as far as about an hour, I think hour and a half south of Orlando, and remember coming back through like on our way back as we drove back up, you know, to head home and stuff, that it got really rainy
Yeah,
and nasty out there and stuff. So I definitely can see what you're talking about down there.
Atlanta was a
So,
nightmare.
oh yeah, I can imagine. So I got to ask, what was it like when you met Leo Rush in the locker room, you know, at the show?
Yeah, I actually met him locker room outside where the food
Okay.
trucks were at. You know, I think he was just getting something quick to eat. And
Hmm.
then I actually didn't want to say hello to him. I was too nervous. Even though
Hmm.
I was wrestling, my girlfriend Gina made me say hello, you know. She grabbed my hand. And while he was turned around, he didn't know I was there. She grabbed my hand and made me go to him, and she walked away. And then he turned around, and then I was like, well, I have no choice. I have to say hello now, you
Well,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, he's super, super cool, really nice guy. I think
Mhm.
one of the nicest people I've met in wrestling.
That's awesome. So you get to the match, you know, and stuff and everything. Who was in terms of setting up the match, like, you know, what you guys were going to do and everything? Was it more like did he have more of an input on the match because, you know, he's been in the business longer? Was it 50-50, or like what was the setup like?
He it's kind of I don't know. We both came to the day of the show with our own ideas already in
Mhm.
place, and but both of our ideas ended up melding really well together on what we wanted to do in the match. You know, and prior to that, we didn't even talk to each other, so we just came up with ideas by ourselves. And then, like I said, when we came together, we just it was just a perfect blend of ideas. And then it was I don't want to say it was more of a 50-50 thing. Now that I think about it, we kind of again had our own
Mhm.
ideas, and then we kind of just bounced off of our ideas, and then we would just say, well, I do this and you do this, so let's maybe just combine those two things together and just move from there, you know. So it's just super simple to call because we already had kind of the same mindset coming in and
Mhm.
ideas that flowed well together.
That's awesome and stuff. So what is now was this the show here? Was this your first show in front of a live crowd since the pandemic started? Or I should say, excuse me, since the CCW show? Like, was this your first show since then, or had you done some stuff in between?
Oh, I was very busy in
Okay.
between. Yeah, I was very busy. I think I did a lot of tapings for Paradigm Pro Wrestling and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm trying to I don't know if that was the uh first event I've had in front of a crowd, and I can't remember.
Hmm.
I think it was. I feel bad about forgetting another event, but I think that was the first show where I had an actual crowd there
Yeah.
because the rest were just tapings, or not
So,
just tapings, but they were
mhm.
tapings.
So what was what last question I think I have about Bloodsport, and then we'll move on to the collective.
Okay.
What was the attendance for Bloodsport that in Tampa?
I could be lying to you, so don't take me, at 100%. But I heard it was over 1,000, from what I remember.
Wow.
Hearing, yeah, there was a picture. I don't know if you saw it, but it was an overhead picture. It was just beautiful. It's just everybody that was out there, and then the ring, of course. It's just great. Lots of people.
And do you know, what the crowd could have been or would have been had there, if COVID wasn't an issue? Did Josh give you any idea of what normally he would have expected in terms of a crowd if COVID wasn't a factor?
I didn't get a chance to talk to him or hear any kind of number, but we did. I think it was only at 25% capacity for that venue.
Okay, so then that would translate to about like maybe 4,000 or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So
all right. So going to the collective now. Tell me a little bit more about what you did at the collective.
Yeah. So again, first day was Bloodsport, and then after that, I was there hanging out, pretty much just watching everyone's matches throughout the whole day, and just if they needed any help of any kind, I would just try my best to do what's needed. I always like to try to make myself useful, not freeload off anything. And on the last day, I believe it was Saturday, I was on a scramble with Unsanctioned Pro. That's a Ohio-based promotion.
Cool. And who were the other participants in the scramble match?
It was myself, Billy Starks, myself, Freddie Hudson.
Okay.
Ron Bass Jr., whose dad was Ron Bass, of course.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I know him.
Yep, Ron Bass Jr., Rob Killjoy from the Ugly Ducklings, and someone named Whisper. Super awesome. He's awesome.
Awesome. And what were because I've seen various types of scramble matches. What were the rules of this particular scramble match that you were involved in?
Not a hardcore match, of course, but just do what you want and put on the craziest scramble possible. And I think we did a great job. It was actually one of the best scrambles I've been in, I think. Everyone had a great synergy going together. But yeah, no rules, just go nuts, go do crazy stuff.
And then so how much harder is it in terms of, for you specifically, in terms of prepping for a match, like the more people get involved? So like, let's say, obviously, you have a one-on-one match with, like, let's say Leo Rush, it's just you two. How much more complicated does it get for you when more people are added to the match? Like, going from one-on-one to, like, say, a triple threat, a fatal four-way, a five-way, all that stuff. Like, I guess basically it's like the more cooks, and spoiling the stew. So, or more cooks getting involved with the stew. How does that complicate things for you per se, if any?
I think it actually makes it a little bit easier. Maybe it is a little bit more difficult thinking of doing stuff to include everybody in the match, right? But as a standpoint of remembering things, you only have to remember your cues of when you go in and all that stuff, So it definitely makes it a lot easier as opposed to wrestling a singles match. You have to remember everything,
Gotcha. Now, one of the things I remember from that I remember hearing from this particular event, because the collective that was under the GCW banner, correct?
Yep, under Game Changer, yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Now I believe the big thing that came out of that was, I believe, was John Moxley, who was actually involved in this. I think he came out to confront Nick Gage.
Yeah.
Now, did you get to were you able to see that, like, from backstage, or did you get to go out in the crowd and watch? Or?
Oh, I was in the crowd. Yeah, I was in the crowd. Yeah.
Nice.
I wanted to see the match anyways. Prior to that happening was Ricky Shane Page up against Nick Gage. And yeah, I had to be out there, so I was out in the crowd. And then when the match was over, I just looked behind me and everybody's just running to the entrance. What's going on? John Moxley comes out. It's insane.
Now, did you have any idea that was going down?
I had no clue that was going to happen. No, not at all. Yeah, maybe I should have known. Maybe someone said I just never paid attention, but yeah, I didn't know. I think it was a good thing that I didn't.
Yeah, because I mean, it's always nice to have that shot, that surprise, that factor, that shock value,
Yeah, yeah.
um, and that. Um, so did now while you were down there, did you get a chance to go to like any other shows just to watch as a fan? Did you get to go to WrestleCon at all? Like, what did you do when you weren't wrestling down in Tampa?
Yeah, I spent about 95% of my time at the collective, but
Mhm.
Janai, my girlfriend, had a match at Generation Championship Wrestling, so I went over there to watch their morning event, and that
Mhm.
was headlined by Leo Rush and Casey Navarro as well. So thought I'd go and watch that match too.
Nice. Now, did you get to go to like WrestleCon at all, or?
I did not know. I did not. I was with my girlfriend and one other friend, so we were kind of
Mhm.
just on each other's schedule. I didn't want to do something that someone else didn't want to do, you know?
Oh yeah, no, I understand
Yeah.
that and stuff. So now while you were down there, did you did you get a chance to go to WrestleMania, or did you watch it while you were down there, or?
I did not get a chance to watch it. I wish I would have went. I had a
Mhm.
couple friends that went after the collective, and I was super jealous. I just kept
Mhm.
getting a bunch of text message pictures of the setup and everything, so I was very jealous.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, okay. Now, did you get to maybe not necessarily while you're down there or stuff, but have you had a chance to watch WrestleMania at all yet?
I did not know. I'm slacking on that. I've been so busy lately with wrestling, you
Mhm.
know. I'm just
Oh
traveling
yeah.
every week now, so just haven't had a chance to sit down.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seems like your schedule is really picking up because I'm friends with you on Facebook and
Yeah, yeah,
I see all these posts you've been posting about. It's like, oh yeah, I got this show now and this show and
yeah,
this
yeah.
show and how does it feel to kind of, because it seems like people are your name's starting to kind of get out there and kind of grow a little bit and stuff now. And what's that like for you? Kind of starting, from where you did, on the independents and stuff. And now you're like, going to shows WrestleMania week and,
Mhm.
working for, places like Game Changer Wrestling and Bloodsport. I mean, how cool is it for you to kind of see like your name getting out there and like now you're starting to see the opportunities really starting to roll in?
Yeah, it's still a little surreal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very blessed. I feel, you know, I've only been doing it for a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in Florida, I don't want to say there was no one to blame, but whatever. But I didn't have a much of a career in Florida. That makes sense. One, I was new,
Mm-hmm.
and I just I don't think I had a great support system in Florida. Like I have friends from Florida that I still travel with now and such, but I don't I didn't get a great support system down there, you know. And then I moved up to DC and I started training with Cheeseburger or CB if you're familiar with
The
him.
world famous CB, I think is what he goes by
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. So, you know, I think I don't want to say it was because of him, but I think once you have the right support system, things start opening up for you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So just being able to train with him and Sumi Sakai and all the students and wrestlers there, it motivated me as a wrestler. And then just seeing how even just 2 years ago, I couldn't even get a single booking where I lived, you know, I was in Florida,
Right.
just got left on red I messaged
Mm-hmm.
every single promotion I can think of just being left on red just to finally be able to work now is awesome, you know.
That's awesome. So you mentioned again, and I know we talked about this when I had you on before about being trained by Sumi Sakai and the world, well, now known as the world famous CB. Did they? Did you hear from them at all during your time in Tampa? Did they give a chance to give you any feedback on your work down there, or?
They didn't get a chance to. I don't think they got a chance to watch my match because they were busy doing their own bookings and stuff.
Mhm.
But leading up to WrestleMania weekend, they were super helpful. You know, it's
Mhm.
about a 3-4 hour drive to get to the school, so we can't go there as much as Janai, not me and Janai want to. But
Right.
whenever we go, you know, they're just super helpful. Whatever questions we have, or
Mhm.
even if we just have like a small idea, that'll turn into one big thing. You know, so they definitely had a big role in leading up to Mania weekend and helping us out.
Okay, gotcha. So, one more. I actually just thought this really cool Bloodsport related question. Is there anybody out there, like, and we'll just say it's going to be kind of a bit of a two-parter. Who do you think would someone that's like, competing in like one of the major promotions like WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact, any of these major ones? Who do you think is someone who has never been wrestled at a blood sport event that you think would be like tailor-made for something like that?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, jeez. Let me think. I actually always wanted to see Daniel Bryan now.
Oh, that's
I
a
think
good
I
one.
think that'd be really cool, right?
Oh, I 100%
Yeah.
agree. That's honestly probably one of the better answers I would have, thought of. The other guy who I would love to maybe see in a match like that is someone who was just, unfortunately recently let go by WWE. I think Samoa Joe would be amazing as well.
Yeah, Josh Barnett actually tweeted saying on Twitter saying if Samoa Joe wanted to do it, he knows where he's at.
Right.
So I think that would be very cool.
Okay, and then the other Bloodsport related question is if you could pick anyone from CCW, because again, that's kind of where I first met you and I first discovered you and stuff. If you could have a match with any a 1-1 match with anyone from the CCW roster, who would it be and why?
I think the Ewok.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of guys on CCW that would do great on Bloodsport, but I'm looking at me personally, size wise, accordingly. So, but I think Ewok would be awesome. I love when you look at him wrestle. He's not a martial artist, but he looks like he's someone that's just gonna kick someone's butt.
Right.
That he does. He's just a brawler, matched with the mouth that he has. He's a great trash talker and really good personality. I think those two together would put into a good wrestler for Bloodsport for sure. And I'd love to have a match with him in that kind of setting. That'd be cool.
All right, so coming up technically it should have been about 2 weeks ago, this show, but you coming up now on June 12th, which is officially sold out. You have I believe are going to be part of a 6-man tag team matchup. So why don't you tell my audience a little bit about who your partners are going to be and who you're going up against?
Yeah, so it's myself, Janai Kai, and Faven Brett, right?
Braven Fett.
Braven Fett. I'm sorry, I flipped it together. Yeah. And we're going up against Miles Mercer, Jackson P. Larkin, and who is the third one?
I believe it's C-Red, isn't it?
Yes, it is C-Red. Yes, that's really cool to see him in a wrestling match.
Yes,
not as a manager, but as a wrestler. So I get to kick him in the head now. It's great.
Is that what you're most looking forward to?
Yeah. Either me or my girlfriend kicking C-Red in the head. Yeah, I'm ready for that.
Oh man, I had C-Red on, and he's definitely entertaining. But yeah, I've seen some of his stuff, and I can see why you're looking forward to that and stuff. And I mean, I know you guys, you and Miles Mercer had a banger of an opening match, at the very first CCW show. So this should be no different. So what else do you have coming up in the future in terms of shows?
Depending on when this airs, but this Saturday, May 1st, I have a Game Changer again.
Okay. Yeah, that'll have already happened by the time this drops, because this will be coming out on the Monday, I believe the Monday after, so I believe it'd be May 3rd would be
okay.
When it drops. So, but yeah, definitely. So that match
May 1st, yep. May 8th, I'm open. May 18th, I'm doing something called Terminal Combat, which is super cool. It's at Paradigm Professional Wrestling in Indiana.
Okay.
The first 5 minutes is shoot style wrestling, like that Bloodsport type match. And after 5 minutes, it's hardcore rules. So weapons, all that stuff is all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that'd be really cool. And that's May 21st. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
May 21st, and then May 16th, I have something I can't say what that is yet. That'll come out when it'll come out. Ooh. And then I think that's all for June, or May, and then June I'm super busy as well. I just can't remember everything off the top of my head. That's why I have a girlfriend. She reminds me of everything that needs to be done.
She's kind of like your girlfriend / manager.
Yeah. She does all the bookings and money and all that stuff. I just wrestle and just drive.
You just go where she tells you to go, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, one show I could definitely, and we just talked about it. You know, you got June 12th. Chicagoland Championship Wrestling.
Yep.
So again, we talked about how you kind of got your name out there. It's really starting to spread. I mean, where do you let's say where do you hope to be this time next year? I mean, in terms of places to work. I mean, do you honestly feel like maybe you run and say Ring of Honor or Impact, or hell, even getting a tryout with either AEW, maybe getting a match maybe on Dark Elevation, or even a tryout at WWE. I mean, is that something that you're looking for in the near future?
Yeah, I mean, first things, I kind of want to help CC. Well, not me personally, but everyone help CCW become a bigger company. I think it's something great. So hopefully, this time next year, CCW is something on a large scale, because I believe it should be.
I agree.
Hopefully continue working with Game Changer as well, and just continuing to grow myself there. And the biggest, if we're going to go on TV size promotions, WWE and AEW is super cool. I wouldn't pass up the opportunity, of course. If it comes, it comes. I'm in no rush, though, but I think the first place I'd like to go is New Japan, or New Japan America, wherever it lines up,
Maybe go be on an episode of New Japan Strong.
Yeah, that's actually one of my goals. I posted on, I pinned it on my Twitter account. So it's the first thing you see that by the end of this year, beginning next year, I'll get on one of those two shows. So hopefully it happens.
One thing I just kind of thought about this as you were talking about like New Japan and stuff, and this is actually something I've personally myself become a really big fan of, because I've been watching a lot. I've been trying to devote a lot of time to it, and now because again I'm off work due to injury, I've been able to kind of really get caught up on a lot of things and really devote a lot more time to wrestling and stuff. I've become a really huge fan of Ring of Honor's Pure Division.
Oh, that's super good.
Oh yeah, it is so it is so awesome. Is that something you could see yourself doing?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I love Jonathan Gresham. I love all the guys that are on there. Yeah. So
did you get a chance to see his match against Jay Lethal about
a week ago? So good,
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was so good. I think even just seeing those two in the flyer, you just already knew that was just going to be something else,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I love the Pure Division. I love what Ring of Honor is doing now, though.
Yes.
Both Women of Honor, Ring of Honor, are both doing great things.
Now, you mentioned the Women of Honor. I know they just started that back up because they had. We're recording this on Wednesday, April 29th, and I believe it was earlier this morning, or no, it's Thursday, April 29th. Excuse me, but I believe it was actually maybe yesterday or something.
It was yesterday. Yep.
Yeah, the Women of Honor match. Did you get a chance to watch that?
I did. I liked it a lot, actually.
So good. And I mean, these are four women. I heard of Lainey Luck because I know she does some work with Zello Pro, which is a local federation, in the Chicago area where I'm based out of and stuff. And that was my first time seeing her, but I was impressed with all four of those women and stuff. I mean, I definitely hope we see more of that from Ring of Honor because they've got some their future and their women's division's looking really good. They look to get that back on track.
Yes. I think they started off on the right foot, so definitely keep that train rolling. It's awesome.
Right. All right. So we're going to wrap it up here. And this is going to be the time where I can give you a chance to promote your socials, how people can buy your merch. So this is your time to plug whatever you want to plug.
Okay. So Twitter is the only Yoya, TheOnlyoya. So there's only one Y between.
Gotcha.
Yep. Instagram is the exact same thing. And for merch, I have shirts, 8x10s, and tag team shirts. And you can DM me on one of those sites to get that done or get an order in. And that's it. Then listen to this show, guys, please.
Awesome. So, all right. Well, my man Yoya, congratulations on an amazing week of performances at down in Tampa for Wrestlemania week.
Thank you.
congratulations on getting the GCW shows. Looking forward to hopefully being there, provided things are, with my situation kind of work themselves out to where I can still go, because I've got really have my heart set on going. Definitely can't wait to talk to you in person at the CCW show. But I just want to say, thanks again so much for taking the time to share your experiences down in Tampa, and best of luck to you, man. And provided nothing, crazy happens, I'll see you in about a month and a half at CCW.
Yep, I'll see you June 12th. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Anytime, buddy. You are more than welcome here anytime. And if your girlfriend is either listening to this or she's within earshot, she is more than welcome to come on the show anytime as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
You got it.
This is P.L. Myers, a shot to the top, pro wrestling's manager extraordinaire. And there's only one thing you should be watching, one thing you should be listening to, and that's the man himself. Whaddya Say with DDJ.
All right, Yoya, thank you so much for sharing your stories and experiences down in Tampa. I hope everybody listening to this got a chance to hear some really good stories and enjoyed the show. You can see Yoya coming up. He's got a few shows coming up with GCW, as well as coming up on June 12th as part of the sold-out Chicagoland Championship Wrestling Saturday Night Grapple Masters event. He will be in action that night along with his girlfriend Janai Kai and also Braven Fett, as they will be going up against Miles Mercer, the Kang of the whole show, C Red, and Jackson P. Larkin. So that should be a lot of fun. And again, tickets for that event are sold out, but you can get tickets for the August show by going to ChicagolandChampionshipWrestling.com. Also, be sure to go to ProWrestlingTees.com/ProWrestlingJunkies to get your official Whaddya Say with DDJ shirt. You can also pick up shirts for all the other great podcasts on the Pro Wrestling Junkies Pod Squad, including The Junkyard, Such Good Shoot, Steven and Brad's Talking Wrestling, as well as Steve 3, and also we have one for Toilet Side Wrestling Talk with Brad Marcus, and also a really cool shirt featuring the one and only Hector Hernandez, aka the Mexican Meltzer, who does a great job with all the news posts that he posts on Pro Wrestling Junkies Facebook page and as well as Twitter. That's all the time I have this week. Tune in next week for episode 40 of Whaddya Say with DDJ. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for listening.
If you love professional wrestling and great podcasts, check out Whaddya Say with DDJ on Facebook, Twitter, and also on ProWrestlingTees.com. In the search field, just type in DDJ and buy the best professional wrestling podcast shirt around.